Hi guys, I'm back again for new videos. I have been taking a little bit of a hiatus from ToME, as I'm sure a lot of my subscribers have noticed. I've had to take some time off from the game because I got kind of burnt out on it, and then I had some real life stuff pop up. So I've decided to start doing videos again. I was recently interviewed for the Roguelike Radio podcast about Let's Plays, and I figured if I was going to do an interview for it, I might as well start doing the Let's Plays again. I'm not really sure what I want to do with these. I feel like I've touched on a lot of how-to stuff about the guides in the past, but I think for now I'm just going to sort of screw around. I'm going to play a Halfling Brawler. I like Brawlers. They're kind of a fun class. They're not... I have kind of a lot of trouble actually winning with Brawlers, but they're pretty good. I like Halfling for Brawler because they get a racial that gives them a boost to evasion based on their luck. Let's see, which one is it? I think it's Militant. No. Duck and Dodge, that's what it is. They get evasion equal to their luck stat for the next 2 turns after they use it. And there's actually a prodigy they'll get later on. I believe it's willpower based, so I'd actually have to raise willpower or get it up with my luck to actually get it there. But if you can get to 50 willpower, you can get Lucky Day, which basically gives you 100% evasion while that racial is up, which is absolutely amazing. And I also like Halflings for Brawler because they start with high Cunning, and Unarmed Training is based off of Cunning. And Unarmed Training is like where they get a lot of their early damage. They might feel really weak the first time you play them, and the reason why is they just don't have any starting damage because they don't have any unarmed mastery, and that is a lot of it right there. Like all the physical power they get from that, the percentage damage boost is just huge. And so we're going to put 2 points into Cunning and a point into Constitution. And let's get started. Now, it's been a while since I've been back to the game. I've played it a little bit since then, just on and off to keep up with the changes. 1.04 is the latest version of ToME, and I was super impressed with the version when it came out. They added a bunch of new changes. I don't know if this was 1.04 or 1.03, but they added variant dungeons to the first 2 tiers. So, the Maze, the Old Forest, Trollmire, all those other places can now have a different version when you enter the dungeon, which makes things a little bit interesting. I don't know if I'm a huge fan necessarily of some of the new variants of the dungeons, but it is nice to have that change of pace. Like, it's nice going into the maze and not having the same maze every single time. The new maze is kind of an asshole dungeon full of horrors and Fearscape monsters and all those things that really suck to run into in the Old Forest, but it's probably good that they're introducing those out of the way early on. Let's see. Oh, I want to use the rough leather gloves. Now, Brawlers don't equip weapons like normal characters do. They use unarmed, which is keyed off their gloves. Shit, I fucked up that escort already. Wow. And depending on the glove, they attack faster. Like, iron gloves will attack at 80% attack speed, which is a little bit faster than a normal weapon would. A bit faster than even a quick normal weapon would. Rough leather gloves attack at 60% speed, which is like faster than any weapon in the game does, including some of the artifacts that get attack speed boosts. I think technically there's a club item that you get really late in the game that gets a global speed boost that makes it attack faster than unarmed would with rough leather gloves, but you get that so late, and it's global speed, which in my opinion doesn't really count. I mean, Halflings have a really easy time in their starter dungeon with unarmed mastery because their damage is just so high. It's like having a good magic weapon equipped. You can always tell if a run's going to be a good start if you find a magic weapon on the first map, because that totally changes the game. But with Halfling Monks, you don't need that to be really like a powerhouse early on, because unarmed mastery just ups their damage so much. And I recommend getting unarmed mastery as soon as possible if you're going to play a brawler character. Ideally within the first couple of maps. I like to have it by level 2 if possible, but some classes just don't get the cunning for that. Probably go over some of their abilities here while I'm at it. They have Double Strike, which is basically, I almost want to say it's a passive. It's technically an active ability, but once you're in striking stance, it automatically activates whenever it's off cooldown. And the other ability they get is Uppercut, which is keyed off combo points. When you hit enemies, you gain combo points, and depending on how many combo points you have, Uppercut will stun an enemy for longer and do more damage. There's lots of abilities that generate combo points and lots of abilities that spend them. And they all do different things, and we'll get into that as we get to those abilities. Oh, this is kind of a nasty trio of enemies, because I think both that Rattlesnake and the Troll rolled a higher level than what's average. Level 3. I'll spend those points in just a minute. Okay, now that we're at procs, I might as well. So let's see. Got 6 stat points. I can jump straight for level 2 of Unarmed Mastery, which would up my damage by a lot, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put a couple points to Cunning, a couple points to Con. We'll put 2 more points to Cunning so we can get it next after we kill procs. And I'm going to put a point. I'm going to put 2 points into Double Strike. We want to get Double Strike up to level 4 quick, so we'll get 2 combo points from a jab. Not a lot of people will necessarily recommend this. I've seen a lot of people say just put 1 point into it and then put 4 points into Relentless Strike. But I like to get both of these up to 4 as quickly as possible. I like to max Unarmed Mastery quick, and then I like to worry about defenses after that, because early game you kill everything just so fast it doesn't really matter how low your defenses are. And that's probably a mistake, but I like to play impulsively, as people who are familiar with my videos would probably know. And let's see, I have a couple generic points, but I don't think we can really do anything with them yet. I'm going to put a point into Vitality for prerequisites. Let's see, what does Luck of the Little Folk do? Oh yeah, it raises critical strike chance, so that's pretty good. Some big damage boosts there. I gotta back off for a little bit. There we go. Wasn't the easiest, but pretty easy. Ooh, Skin of Many. That's a great thing to find this early on, especially on a brawler character, since they don't use Cunning/Stealth. It's just a really good item to find. That defense is great. And what do we get for the amulet off of him? Critical multiplier, which is kind of useful for us. I guess it'd be more useful than this. Nothing else we can really use. We're going to get strength up to 16 now. And 1 points to that, point to that. Unarmed Mastery level 2. Can't put any points to this till we get our dex up, but I wanted to get the strength enough to equip the Skin of Many right away. And we can get to everything later on. Let's get that equipped. Why can I not equip that? Oh, right. Yeah, because I don't quite have 16 strength. That's after the penalty. I was looking at the wrong number. Well, poop. I was hoping we could do Bill right away with the armor we just found, but I think we're going to have to put it off and come back for him in a little bit. Not want to disenchant that, so we're going to move that to normal inventory. And I'll hold on to Core's Fall in case I want to go to Wizard Town. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is Norgos. I always like to do Norgos immediately after Trollmire. So lately I've actually been doing Core's Fall pretty much immediately. The new, like, if you can get the alternate dungeon for Core's Fall, it's really, really easy compared to regular Core's Fall, because the last boss is super cake. And there is tons of thief-type enemies in the new Core's Fall. Or not Core's Fall. What is the name of that dungeon? Corpool's Tower? I think that's it. Oh, I should probably comment on that. I just found a really nice regeneration infusion for this level. That'll really help carry me through the remainder of the early dungeons. Looks like we've just gotten version 1 of these dungeons so far. I haven't gotten any of the new ones yet. Oh! Or maybe we did get one of the new ones, because these enemies don't normally appear in the normal version of the dungeon. The alternate version of Norgos' lair is filled with ice elementals, and they do ice damage, so it's another caster dungeon. And I know how much everybody loves those. Yep, we got the alternate version. Good. Something different. Okay, don't really need any of that stuff. Oh. Summoner Wolf. Oh man. I'm gonna get killed here, aren't I? Maybe not. Oh no, almost certainly. Wow, that was close. Okay, let's try this again. Holy shit. What is he? I can't even tell what he's... Oh, he's a fucking Wormic. Ugh. Obnoxious. I'm gonna die. Yep. Holy shit, wow. I was at literally 0 hit points there. That was not pleasant. This is a hell of a thing to run into this early on. Alright, I can't beat him, so I'm gonna have to come back later. Oh, you know what? Have I gained a couple levels? I don't think I have, actually. No, I haven't. Okay. Another interesting change that was made very recently is that the first 2 dungeons you enter determine what your escorts are, regardless of your race. Obviously, if you're a Yeek, you don't get it in those 2 dungeons as far as I know. Wait, no, actually, I might be wrong about that. Now that I'm looking back to the last time I played a Yeek, I am completely wrong about that. I think I touched on that in one of my last videos, but it's a nice change that was made in one of the more recent patches. And it also lets you be picky and choosy about where you want your escorts to spawn. Which is another reason to do Corpool's Tower, or whatever the hell that dungeon is called, really early. Oh my god. What did he spawn with that he's got so much defense? I'm hitting him for nothing. I should have gone into the glove shop before I decided to do this. I'm underleveled for this. I've got him though. Okay. That was closer than it should have been. Okay. What do we got in the glove shop? Oh, those are pretty good. Polar rough leather gloves with a juggernaut. Yeah. Juggernaut, ice breath, extra cold damage, converts damage to cold. Juggernaut click effect. That's really nice. I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford that, but I'm going to sell some stuff and see if I can. Would be nice. No, I can't. I don't quite have the gold for that yet. But I might come back for that if I don't find anything better in one of the other shops for cheap. Skullcracker helm. Alright. Nothing really in the shop for us here. Let's check the infusions. Couple regenerations. Ooh, this one's really nice. This is keys off cunning, and it's only 12 turn cooldown. That's amazing. I will take that. So now we got a couple really nice infusions, 13 and 12, 150, 149. They both key off cunning, which is something we're going to be pumping the shit out of as a monk. Well, not a monk, it's a brawler technically, isn't it? We're going to do Ruins of Corpool, and if this is the alternate version, we'll finish it, and if it's not, we might come back later. Depends on how many rogues there are around, that'll tell us. There's one. The alternate version of Corpool is really I don't want to say it's too easy so much as the old version was too hard. Oh yeah, one of the recent versions, molds have become a lot more dangerous, so be careful and mindful of that. They're like tiny spellcasters now. They're not likely to kill you, but they're also not really an easy time like they were automatically by default, and if you get a bad one in a room, you can get killed by them pretty easily as an incidental thing. They can hit you with some negative status effects and things like that, so just keep an eye on them and don't get overconfident just because, you know, there's no other enemy in the room but the boss except a mold. And as a result of having some more powerful abilities, molds can be pretty bad if they spawn as rares. Okay, I think this is the alternate version of the dungeon because there was a lot of rogues around. One of the nice things about fighting rogue enemies is that they're a lot more likely to drop equipment, so you can get a lot more artifacts early on by killing them. So having another dungeon with rogue enemies is nice, especially if you're playing like a rogue character or a arcane blade, since you'll have access to gear, daggers, and things like that at an earlier point instead of having to wait till you get to the maze and hope something drops. Whoops. I let myself get surrounded. I don't think this is going to kill me because I've got so much regeneration, but oof. Actually, it might. We've just got to get out of this segment here. There we go. I got some breathing room. I think this guy keeps hitting me with petrifying poison, and that's why I'm taking so much damage. Shit. Whoops. I let myself step out of the corridor, and that was not good. That was really bad. I'm level 6 now. I'm going to immediately just dump that all into strength, and now I'm going to put the Skin of Many on, and that should help a little bit. Give me some extra defense, and hopefully I'll dodge some of these attacks, because these guys are tearing me up. Yeah, that's a big difference. Spellblaze Shard. If I was playing a rogue, I might be thrilled. Finish this dungeon up, and then I'm going to wrap up the video. There's some other things to attend to, so I can't make this a really long one, but this is definitely going to be the start of me coming back into this. I'd like to do these more regularly, and I don't want to fall into the situation where I go 6 months without making them anymore, as I did before. So I'm sorry about the long delay before making another video, guys. I'm sorry for abandoning my previous series. I don't even remember where I was with that character, so I'm just going to sort of let it go. I know I was pretty close to the end of the game, but I don't think I could have actually done it with that Reaver anyway. About the farthest I think I've ever made it on a Reaver, as I recall. Hate getting arrows from those gold chests. Thanks, chest. Arrows is just what I wanted as a brawler. Like, one of the downsides of playing a brawler is that you're probably not going to find anything amazing in these chests. They don't generally pop gloves very often. The upside is the glove slot artifacts that you can get from saving the merchant are probably the best. So when you get to that point of the game, you can just have some endgame equipment crafted for you for a few thousand gold. And I've never seen a really bad roll for gloves from that merchant. It's always something usable, even if it's not as amazing as you would have hoped. I believe that the boss can spawn in one of these adjacent rooms. It's always going to be one or the other. It's not always the same room. In this case, he spawned here. And the new one is the Possessed. He's the leader of a gang of bandits that killed the Shade of Corpool. However, it's obvious the Shade was merely displaced. It is now possessing the corpse of his killer. And he's a rogue type with some minor spell casting. He's not nearly as threatening as the Shade was. He's not easy by any means, but not quite as difficult either. But he's kicking my ass. Why is he? I didn't have as much trouble with this the last time I did it. Oh. Keep getting stunned. Or dazed or something. He's putting my abilities on cooldown. What is that? Off guard. Is that what it is? But pay attention when that effect actually hits. There we go. Dropped eel skin armor, which I don't know if I'm going to use that over Skin of Many. Though it is really nice. I probably will hold on to it, just because I'm kind of a pack rat. And we gained a level. No, we gained 2 levels. Nice. So let's see. We're going to just dump 4 points to Dex, so we can start leveling up Mobile Defense, which ups your defense and armor hardiness when you're wearing light armor, and Relentless Strikes, which when you get it to the only thing that matters about Relentless Strikes is when you get it to 4 points, it takes a turn off of how long it takes to cast Double Strike. So we want to max that out like ASAP. Steady Mind increases defense and mental save by a scaling amount with your dexterity and cunning, which is nice. Tactical Expert increases your defense by the number of adjacent foes you have. Counterattack gives you a chance to counter an attack. So those are all points that you're going to want to pump, or skills that you're going to want to pump up as well. Now that we have Duck and Dodge unlocked, we're going to completely max it out. It's a passive. Whenever you take X% of your health or more from a single attack, you gain evasion equal to your luck stat. Once we get Lucky Day, that's pretty much 100% evasion once we get it to the point we want it to be, which is really incredible. And we're going to keep putting points into conditioning, because we're probably going to want to max Unflinching Resolve. Some combat accuracy can help, because you're going to be raising Dex. It's not super necessary, just up it as you need it. We'll get into more of how we're going to build this character in the next video. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Y'all have a great one. Bye-bye.